real quick. We had such an amazing year last year, 2022. 2023 is looking even better for you, man. You're even more busier. How do you keep all these fighters and all these training camps in order? And then one of your younger fighters right here, just tell us about how the training camp and everything.
Everything was tremendous, you know. We can't complain. We had a great camp. We had a great sparring, you know. We got some of the best work in the world, I think. And so we're prepared for this fight. I know this kid is, you know, a strong lion, wants to prove himself. But he's also a young, strong lion, too, and he wants to prove himself. He wants to become the first champion in the history of Uruguay. So he has a huge weight on his shoulders that he wants to deliver to his people. So it's going to be a tremendous fight, and obviously every time you have a Mexican fighter, you know, they leave nothing outside that ring. You know that they leave everything in the ring. So we have that element, and then like I said, again, we have the element of him who wants to become the first champion in the history of Uruguay, and so he's going to be bringing it Saturday night. You can rest assured that.
What do you think is going to separate them inside the ring?
You know, at the end of the day, I think the experience, and this guy's, they're going to underestimate the things he can do. He can do a plethora of different things in the ring, and I think, you know, they're underestimating that. And me and him had a tremendous camp, and I think we meshed really good, and I think we brought a lot of things. We add some elements to the table that I think Elijah Garcia is going to be in for a big surprise.
How do you balance your stable? How do you balance everything, man?
Well, you know the old saying, there's 24 hours in the day. You only need to sleep 8, so I got 16 I can put in every day, and I try to leave no stone unturned to you know, do everything possible to put my fighter in a position to win. And I think that's the recipe for success, is doing everything that you possibly can to put them in positions to be successful. Thank the good Lord Jesus Christ, I've been healthy enough to put that kind of effort into these guys.
Bob, I got to ask you about the upcoming fight. We want you to take your inside take in and actually having the experience of being in the opposite corner against Gervonta Davis April 22nd. You're stepping into the ring with another Garcia, Ryan Garcia. Just tell us how you see things playing out, having been the very last opponent that Gervonta faced off against.
You know, I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. Does Ryan have the ability to win the fight? Sure he does, because he's got fast reflexes, he's got a tremendous left hook. Again, you know, he's got the heart of a lion, he's a Mexican, you can never, you know, underestimate that. He has a lot of amateur experience and so forth. But I favor Tank in that fight because I think he has the great equalizer, and I think he has the opportunity to do a little bit different things, and I think at some point he'll probably get to him. Now would I be shocked if Garcia won? Of course not, because it's going to be a very competitive fight, but I do lean towards Gervonta Davis. I think he's a special talent. He's a tremendous puncher, but he's got a great ring IQ too. So
Gervonta?
Yes, Gervonta's got a tremendous ring IQ, you know, and he does a lot of tricky things in there, but and then the other thing I don't want everyone to underestimate is Joe Goosen. Joe Goosen may be the, you know, he may be the key element that can get Ryan over the top. So he has a tremendous trainer, Joe Goosen, and I know if anybody has a couple of tricks up their sleeve that can alter the course of the tide, it definitely would be Joe Goosen. We've seen what he did with Chico Corrales versus Castillo. We know what kind of trainer he is. So, again, would I be surprised if Garcia won? No. You got Joe Goosen. He's got the quick reflexes. I am favoring Gervonta, but it's going to be a tremendous fight. And don't ever underestimate Joe Goosen. He's a tremendous trainer.
Hector had a lot of success against Gervonta prior to the round where he was knocked out. Just give us any advice you can give Gervonta about maybe the do's or don'ts. Ryan, the do's or don'ts against Gervonta. Like any advice at all? Like anything that he should mark off?
I think he's just got to be careful. You know, obviously, I'm sure he knows this. I'm sure Joe knows this. You just got to be cognizant of not pulling straight back. You know, if he limits that, then obviously he limits the opportunity to get knocked out. He got hit with Campbell pulling straight back. He cannot pull straight back. And I think if he does that, going to be a very competitive fight. Then it comes down to, because he can catch Gervonta too, right? He's got fast reflexes.
Yeah.
He's got great power too. So if he limits that, the longer the fight's going, the more opportunity he's going to have too, with the length and things of that nature. And then, you know, obviously Gervonta, as the rounds are getting later and later, less likely to land a big bomb.
Yeah,
so he get moving in that direction, but he just cannot pull straight back.
I think the longer the fights go, the better the chance that Ryan has to win the fight or make it a close fight.
I think so, because once he gets into, like, he can get into that 10th round or somewhere around there, like we had with Mario Barrios. And he had a little bit more in the tank. I thought we were winning the fight. Floyd Mayweather thought we were winning the fight. We got to the 11th round, so we were a round and a half away from pulling off a huge upset. You never know, like I said, what's going to happen with the judges, because that's subjective. But as far as the public opinion goes, everybody felt that Mario Barrios was winning that fight. So I think if he can get in that area with Joe Goosen's experience, the way Joe Goosen's going to prepare for him, then even if he does get caught with something big, but it's not something that can put him out cold, you got to like his chances to hold on with Joe Goosen. You look what Joe Goosen did with Diego Corrales. That's total.
You think he could bring that out of Ryan?
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan has showed it against Luke Campbell, so I think he does have it. It's obvious.
No,
right?
he has it. There's no doubt about it. But Joe Goosen could bring the experience with Ryan's heart and balls to guide him a little bit better in the corner. Hey, this is how we got to manage this. This is how we got to weather the storm. So, again, Joe Goosen's experience, Ryan's heart and balls. It gets later in the rounds, Gervonta will be in some big trouble. But that being said, I do favor Gervonta to win the fight, but it's very close.
Last thing,
and I wouldn't bet on it either way.
Last thing, you faced Gervonta when he's had Floyd Mayweather in his corner as a promoter, and not in his corner as a promoter against Hector Garcia, Mario Barrios. But do you think that's a different fighter with or without Mayweather? Like you said, you felt you guys are winning the fight. Floyd told them you're losing. Remember?
Well, you know what? Had Floyd not been there that night, we probably would have
against Mario Barrios.
Yeah, because had Floyd not been there to press him to really go out there and look for the stoppage, he might not have done that. He might have otherwise continued to do what he was doing, and we would have probably pulled off the victory. But because of Floyd's experience, having a guy like that that's analyzing what's going on, he knows what he's looking at. I mean, come on, Floyd's a Hall of Famer, is one of the all-time greats, so he knows what he's looking at. And Floyd employed him, hey man, you got to get the stoppage. So if Floyd's not there that night, we're not God, so we don't know. Maybe he catches him in the 12th round, but most likely, if he doesn't employ him to do what he did, we probably would have, in the case of public opinion, we probably would have got the win for sure.
Yeah, and definitely because, going into this fight without Floyd in his corner, do you think that would be a significant thing? And then two, he was seen at the TMT gym earlier. I'm just trying to pick your brain in terms of how you think, how prepared he is. He's got a great corner himself with Calvin Ford, but
sure, Calvin's a great guy. He's been with him. Obviously, they're undefeated. They've never lost a fight. But I mean, it can't hurt to have a Floyd Mayweather to help guide, give you a little bit of advice in camp, so on and so forth. But if that's not the case, I mean, obviously they've been undefeated. Calvin's done a great job, and like I said, people underestimate Gervonta's ring IQ. He has a high ring IQ. He's not just athletically gifted, he has a high ring IQ. He sets a lot of little traps, but again, with Joe Goosen, I know he's going to be dissecting tape, he's going to be looking at everything, and they'll be setting traps of their own too. I know Joe, I worked under Joe for a long time, and so he'll be setting traps of their own. It's going to be a cat and mouse game to a degree at some points.
Bob, thanks for answering the questions. See you at the weigh-in, and good luck on Saturday. Thank you.